Last night was an interesting night for a lot of Laker fans, going down to Minnesota 4-1 after these expectations, after getting Luka in, all the stuff around it. Lakers playing well, put them in position to be third in the West and potentially get to the Western Conference Finals and compete for another championship. In your eyes, and I know it's a lot of rhetoric going around about JJ Redick and his substitution patterns and what happened. In your mind, is it the substitution patterns, or was it this Minnesota team who didn't play as well during the regular season, was just a better team and a bad matchup for the Lakers?
Jim, absolutely it was a bad matchup. And coming in, it's so funny. Kendrick Perkins and I talked about how we both sat there on the set and we both said Lakers in 7. And part of the reason why we said Lakers in 7 because both of us were scared to actually go with the one.
Minnesota?
Minnesota's probably the better team.
Uh-huh.
Right? So we were hedging. And we it's funny, we both admitted it this morning.
Did you?
And so, because there are limitations to that roster, and JJ Redick was forced into some stuff, but he certainly has to be responsible for some of those decisions. He made a calculated gamble about leaving those guys in the game. And I told a story about how Magic and Michael Jordan and Charles, I talked to those guys their lives and all of mine as a reporter. They would always say during games, they would tell Pat Riley and Phil Jackson and whoever, Paul Westphal, who's coaching Charles in the finals. They would be like, no, the timeouts are longer in the postseason. Leave me in. I can get rest that way. I don't want to come out. And the superstar players, superstar players, they can persuade their coaches to do what they feel they need to have done. All three of those guys would remind me, no, in the postseason, in the fourth quarter, you shouldn't be having your standard rest if the situation calls for you to stay in the game as a star. Now, all 5 guys staying in.
But, Mike, I think where the thing came up was that the Lakers were up 13. So you had an opportunity to sneak some rest in. If it gets cut down to 8 to 10 points or whatever it may be, now you can sub them back in. I think that's where the strategical comments are coming to pass on that, is because they were up big.
Yeah.
Enough to, even if they piggyback, if they took LeBron out first, came back with LeBron and rested Luka, then brought Luka back in and finished the game, last 8 minutes or whatever. That.
There was a way, Jim, and I didn't go as far as some with the criticism of JJ, who I thought did a good job in the regular season. But these last 2 games, it's fair. It's fair. You got second-guessing coaches is like, that's an American sport, probably a worldwide sport. And last night, I want to see Jackson Hayes in there a couple of minutes. I realize you're sacrificing offense, but you can't let Rudy Gobert go with 27 and 24, both personal playoff bests, and have no resistance. There's got to be some resistance. And so can you give Jackson Hayes, can he give you 4 or 5 possessions? I mean, look, at one point, the Lakers take the lead twice by a single point or 3 times. We're talking about 2 or 3 possessions determining the game and your ability to play on in the series. So, no, you can't have Jackson Hayes out there 14 minutes. I'm not asking that.
No.
But can I get a few possessions?
Short stints. Short stints. And
situational basketball.
But what he does, too, think about this, and this is, I think, what made Luka special with Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, was in that short roll, in that pick and roll, the lob threat. Because you don't come up, you know Luka can hit it, you know LeBron can hit that little shot, you commit too soon. Now, those little baskets and that back and forth game mean something, okay?
Yeah.
Because it keeps the defense honest, plus it allows you, and Jackson Hayes is a pretty good rim protector too. Right. So not only like when guys were driving towards Rudy, they would pull back out a little bit. It could be the same case, and some of those shots that were being created by Minnesota may not have been there. And again, you can always second guess, but I think the Lakers are so locked into their game plan. And it even says it, Mike, by playing Maxi Kleber, who didn't play. So that tells you what the game plan and how they stayed with it instead of varying from it. Right?
Yeah, they needed to vary, at least show me something a little bit. I wanted to, and it wasn't like that was necessarily, I'm not rooting against Minnesota have a dear friend who works for the Timberwolves. I'm not rooting against them at all, and I really have gotten to know Julius Randle and Mike Conley. I grew up on the south side of Chicago when Mike Conley's dad did.
OHIO.
Yeah, I mean, that's right, of course.
OHIO. He hit that big three, baby. Yeah.
No, but listen, I think I played against Mike Conley, went to a rival high school.
Okay.
Mike went to a rival high school, Jim Quigley. So we go back longer than I even want to say out loud. So I got some connections,
Minnesota.
that I root for on the Timberwolves. So I wasn't necessarily rooting for any one result. A longer series would have been fine with me. But yeah, you are 100% right. There was a plan that they wanted to stick with no matter what. And it cost them, Jim, it cost them. So now they got to go back to, and I know when they traded for Luka, it wasn't going to be an instant success. I did not see the Lakers getting to the finals this year, any of that. I did not see the Lakers beating OKC, given just the incredible variety of ways that OKC can play you and beat you and kill you. But I didn't see them going out 4-1 to Minnesota either.
No, I don't think anybody saw that.
No, and they got to live with that.
Check out new episodes of The Jim Jackson Show every Thursday. Watch on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. Follow the show on Instagram @Jim Jackson Show, or listen wherever you get your podcasts.